Dr. Bosch. I'm a new intern. I'm supposed to report...
Orientation. That's not your pile.
Yes,
Down
orientation.
B corridor left, and B corridor then right.
Hey, you! What are you doing here without a hard hat? Look out for the dean! Come on, take the combat zone.
So shit, huh, man? What?
Damn.
Yeah.
Welcome to the House of God. Congratulations on achieving what I'm sure was your first choice of internships here at what we modestly consider the best teaching hospital in the country and consequently the world. I'm Dr. Fishberg, chief resident, the man responsible for you, and someone to think of as a friend. I'd like to introduce you to some of the men and women with whom you'll be working. First, your immediate supervisor, last year's most valuable intern, Dr. Joe Miller.
Hi, guys. Welcome aboard.
Your supervising surgical resident and a leader in the new field of emergency room medicine, Dr. Norris Gatt. I now have the pleasure of announcing, for this year only, we have available as a resource person, while awaiting his green card, the distinguished New Zealand physician, Dr. Alfred Pincus, our resident heart consultant. And now for the highlight of our orientation, my boss and your boss, a great guy, Chief of Medicine, Dr. Amos Lego.
You are special. All of us here are special. It need not be said, the house of God is special. I look out at those in this room, and if I can be frank with you, I feel a chill. Now, I do not say there are not other hospitals which are not special. I mean, damn it, doctors are special. Now, I have just one thing to say to you today, and that is, don't worry about making mistakes. Everyone in this room has made a mistake or two in his time. The trick is not to make the same mistake twice, nor to make a whole bunch of mistakes all at once.
And as usual, Dr. Lego has said it all.
interview was fantastic. Worked hard, learned a lot. You'll find the year's tough but fair makes a man of you.
What did she say?
Here at the house, we practice your kind of medicine, the latest technological advances. You're going to see a lot of patients. You're going to treat a lot of patients. Some people can't stand the pace. We just leave them behind.
This modern medical complex comprises
This
12
color-coded schematic shows a hospital in transition. The ultra-modern triple towers of the Wing of Man are not completed, and yet demolition is already underway for the next generation of technology, the precise nature of which we are still unsure. Sorry, an emergency. I want you to acclimate yourself to the hospital. I'm sure you'll have no trouble finding your way around. We start rounds at 7 sharp. Welcome aboard.
Welcome aboard. Far out. I think we should have turned left at the D corridor. No, it's just a white line that's assigned on a priority basis. Blinking lights. I wonder what that means. Excuse me, it's the colors.
If blue is radiology, what is yellow?
Yellow's X-ray. Green is radiology. Blue is...
This is it, huh?
Seems to be
the best teaching hospital in the country.
Maybe the map is out of date.
This corridor is out of date.
God.
Well, all we have to do is retrace our steps
We need to go back to the D corridor. Board. On the left.
I told you. Board said to follow the blinking light.
Some shit. Huh, man?
But, Daddy, I can't survive up here without a car. Well, then, let me sell my stock and use that money to buy the car. You can buy the stock.
What the hell is going on? We're supposed to be doing rounds, right? So where's Joe? Have you seen what's out there? I saw a nurse this morning. Looks like my father, for Christ's sake.
Well,
Good morning, interns.
Daddy, I gotta go. Yeah, I gotta go. Yeah, I'll...
My name is Dr. Chubmine. You can call me Fats. Someone's missing. Where's the other turkey? Morning, nurse?
Doctor.
You're a great crew. Animated, you know what I mean? He just better not make me late for breakfast. All right, we'll start rounds without him.
Great. I'll get the chart racks. Which end of the word do you want to start on?
Chart rack? What are you talking about, chart rack? The 3x5 card ranks next to the wheel as man's greatest invention. All the patient records are bullshit. There is no lifetime history of disease that cannot be put on a 3x5 card.
Aren't we going on work round?
Yes. But first, let me give you the cardinal rule of internal medicine. Never touch a patient. See these fingers? These fingers do not touch bodies unless they absolutely have to. In fact, not only are most patients better off untouched, they are better left unseen.
Hey, man, what's happening?
What are you?
I'm Chuck, man.
Chuck.
You know, Chuck the Turn.
You look like some kind of mugger.
Out of sight. You see, in Chicago, where I went to medical school, man, we got two kinds of dudes. Now, you got the muggers and the muggies. And if you don't dress like the mugger, you automatically get yourself mugged. You dig?
You're not a BMS?
Well, shit, yeah, man. I'm a best medical student. I just didn't go to the best medical school. Hey, wait a minute, man. Who gets the corned beef on rye? All right,
I guess you're wondering what I'm doing here. Well, I'm gonna tell you. I'm gonna be your resident super for the first couple of weeks. Now, Joe, who you undoubtedly met yesterday...
Oh, welcome aboard.
You got it. Anyway, her pop jumped off a bridge last night, and that left me.
Left you?
Now, after what I did as an intern last year, the Slurpers are very reluctant to expose the fresh turns to me, but now they have no choice but to bring the first team. Now, why didn't they want you to meet me? I'll tell you why. You see, with me, there's no bullshitology. And they didn't want you to get discouraged too soon. If you guys get discouraged now, by February, you're gonna be lining up in Joe's Pop's Bridge.
I think we're just scared. The problem is we want to get started.
Scared? You're right to be scared. Anyone who isn't scared is stupid. You should be scared of the patients. I'll tell you that. They're out to get you because they're sick and you're not. And you should be scared of the system. You guys have just come through a tough, dehumanizing system called med school. Cutthroat competition, sink or swim, do or die. And you guys think because you're such med school red hots that you're gonna do fine here, right?
Yeah.
Wrong.
He's a doctor.
I observed that you have all begun to look around you, expecting the worst. Very wise, called adaptation to environment. Those awful sounds which you shall come to know well come from gomers, or the feminine gomer.
What's a gomer?
A gomer? Gomer is an acronym for Get Out of My Emergency Room. What you want to say when one said from an old people's home at 3 a.m.
That's kind of crass. Some of us don't feel that way about old people.
You think I don't have a grandmother? I can tell you, I love my grandmother. But Gomers are not dear old people. They are human beings who have lost what goes into being human beings. They want to die, and we will not let them. We're cruel to Gomers by trying to save them, and they're cruel to us by fighting tooth and nail against our trying to save them. It's a pitched battle, no holds barred.
Who's admitting? Who's admitting?
Not me.
Not me.
I am.
Your admission's name is Ina Goober. What do you want done? Jesus. Govey! Govey!
Hello, Miss Goober. I'm Dr. Potts. I'll be taking care of you.
Govey! Govey! Govey!
Textbook doctor's approach repulsed by textbook Gomer. Oh, come on, boys, all together now. It's our first chance to practice our med school skills. Get her back from the gurney. I've just seen the first law of the House of God in action. Law number 1, Gomers don't die. Though this fragile old woman has fallen from a great height and may have fractured her hip or cracked her skull, she will not die. Gomers never die.
Of course they die.
Well, I've never seen it, not in a whole year here.
We need treatment orders, Doctor.
I've written the order for Ina's treatment. Law number 2, Gomers go to ground. What? Fall out of bed. I know Ina from last year. No matter how securely fastened she is, she'll go to ground every time. This will save you a lot of trouble.
There we go.
Go back.
Miss Goober now. This is for your own good.
That's a real nice color for you.
Go back. Go
Great
back.
case, man. Great case.
Go back. Back. Go back.
Ah, Dr. Bash. I'm Sergeant Gilheany, and this is Officer Quick.
10,000 welcomes to you.
Well, you might ask, what are 2 officers of the law on night shift bringing security to the dark and dangerous streets, doing accosting me in my first emergency admission? And who could blame you? But then who could blame us for seeking the warmth and the human kindness...
Not to mention the unlimited supply of hot coffee.
...of the emergency room of the House of God.
Well, we know how hard it is to do what you're asked to do. To face the dead and the dying.
Strength of character doesn't grow on trees. It's the toilet training, I believe. And so does Freud.
Freud? Where did an Irish cop learn about Freud?
Why? From spending the last 20 years in the emergency room, drinking coffee, and talking with overeducated men like yourself.
Ah, we can't wait to hear what a Rhodes Scholar has to say for himself.
And how'd you know I was a Rhodes Scholar?
Would we be policemen if we didn't?
Your patient awaits. Oh, only she's not a patient, but a Gomer. Anna O. from the Hebrew House of the Incurables.
Oh, the fat man said...
Ah, the fat man. A textbook in himself, a legend in his own time.
We are men of the law, so we follow your hospital laws. Law number 5.
Placement comes first. So the minute we saw Anna O, we immediately called the Hebrew House for Incurables.
But alas, during the ambulance ride here, her bed was sold. Your baptism of fire.
Here's 3. Hi, Mrs. O. I'm your doctor. Anna? Anna?
Roy, let's go to dinner.
She's dead.
Who's dead?
This poor woman. Anna O.
Have I steered you wrong so far? Exactly. So continue listening to me, and I'll tell you when to cry, because there are times during this internship when you'll have to cry, or you'll jump off the building and have to be dripped into a plastic bag. But now is not one of those times, because Anna O is a true blue Gomer.
Would you look at her? She is dead.
Oh, she looks dead, all right, I'll give you that. With Anna, you need the reverse stethoscope technique. Hi, darling. It's Marge. Aha. Listen, this afternoon, some of us are getting together for tea at the Ritz. Like to join? Repeat after me. Gomers don't die.
Gomers don't die.
You betcha. Let's eat. There seems to be some confusion among you interns about Gomers. Since he's your patient, Dr. Bash, ask him a question.
Well, good morning, Mr. Rokotansky. I'm Dr. Bosch. I'm your physician. These are my colleagues. We're here to give you an examination.
Ask him a question, Dr. Bash.
How are you feeling, Mr. Rokotansky?
Pretty good.
Good. How did you sleep last night?
Pretty good.
How about a little trip, Mr. Rokotansky?
Pretty good.
Mr. Rokotansky, what day is it?
Pretty good.
My goal, which should be your goal, is to have as few patients in this hospital as possible, which is exactly the opposite of the private doctors, the hospital administration, and all the other slurpers in this system. Now, since according to law number 1, Gomers don't die, this Gomer will not be leaving by way of death. Therefore, another way must be found.
This man has had a severe stroke. Of course he's gonna die.
No, he's not. He wants to, but he won't. We won't let him.
He has to.
No, he doesn't. Young people like you and I, we die, not Gomers.
Why is that?
I just don't know. It's amazing. Maybe they get past it. So the idea with the Gomer is to get them turfed.
Turf?
To turf. To get rid of, to get off your service to another part of the hospital, or another hospital, or as a last resort, home. Now, the problem with the turf is the counter principle called the bounce. It's always possible your turf may bounce back on you. The secret to eliminating the bounce is the buff.
Buff?
What happens to a car when you buff it?
Looks good.
Exactly. You gotta buff your turf so it doesn't bounce back on you. Now, what is the first law of the house of God?
Gomers don't die.
And the second?
Gomers go to ground.
There's hope.
These hands do not touch patients.
What?
Most patients are better left
Untouched, but better off left unseen.
Really?
Wait, buff the turfs?
So they won't bounce.
Right.
That's
I mean, do you think that's the delivery of medical care?
Well, you
almost hit her.
Well, she threw a purse at me.
hell, it can't be legal.
senile dementia.
I'll tell you what, I'm going.
You don't think that maybe in the first 6 times she was admitted they didn't find it?
Well,
Try
I
that.
wonder. I wonder the fat man claims that he did all the admitting. I mean, maybe he never diagnosed.
Problem.
So is senile dementia. Certain forms of it are treatable.
10 years old.
When earthly trials are over, cast my body down in the sea.
It's really cheery, guys.
Yeah. On the way you look at death. Not is my favorite way.
We've been interns for 2 days. We haven't killed anybody yet.
We haven't treated anybody yet.
Thank God.
Never should have done it.
What's that?
Man, I was in Memphis in high school. Poor as shit, just trying to figure out how to take over my old man's job. Reading cowboy books while being a night janitor when I get this postcard saying want to go to college at Oberlin. If so, just fill out this card indicating your race and financial condition. Well, that was simple enough. Black and broke. Next thing I knew, I got a full scholarship.
Yeah, but how'd you get into med school?
Same damn thing. I got a postcard saying want to go to the University of Chicago. If so, fill out this card indicating race and financial condition.
But the House of God.
Want to be an intern at the House of God?
No.
Yes, sir. Fill out this card indicating race and financial condition. So here I am, all the time wanting to be a singer, man.
Shh. You know, I can't think of one moment in my life
I did not want to be a doctor.
I don't know, man. I just seeing all them sick old people today. I think my old man was right. I wish I had a card from the army instead.
Hey, you can still be a singer?
Blues are in the ocean. Blues are in the air. Can't stay here much longer. Don't have my steamship fare. When earthly trials are over, that's it. Cast my body.
Oh, shit, what is it, ring? God dang. Look at here. Why don't you take my hat? I don't need it. We gotta go this way. All right.
When?
What? Well, let's go. Let's go this way. Cast my body down in
Olaf's stands for occipital, so there must be something wrong. Oh, shit, I can't believe I have forgotten this since last year.
Dr. Bosch, cardiac hypertension unit. Dr. Bosch, cardiac hypertension unit.
Jane Doe.
A-E-I-O-U. A-E-I-O-u.
Sang, baby.
A-E-I-O-u.
Sang, baby.
A-E-I-O-u.
This, you is my woman now.
I went to Westminster College in Fulton, Missouri, which everybody knows is the Harvard of the Midwest.
I'm fine. I'm fine. I'm fine.
I'm a doctor. I got my stethoscope, I got my black bag. I look like a doctor.
Hey, Doc. Hey, Doc. Hey, Doc.
When they found out about the grant that I had into the arachnid family, they picked me right up.
Don't worry about a thing. You're gonna be all right.
Hey, Putz, how do you know if there's even anybody in there?
What do you think's wrong?
Too much sun.
My condition is I
don't know anything about your condition.
Page for Dr.
Bosch, in here. He needs a new IV.
Sure. Put your arm on the towel.
Nurse, could you
Make a fist.
move his waist a little bit? I can't see the TV.
Pain! I'm having a heart attack!
I'll get a doctor.
You are a doctor.
Yes.
Are you a real doctor or what? What's going on? Get me my nitros! Get lost!
I'll do the IV.
Great moments in medicine. Come on. Rule number 3, when faced with a cardiac arrest, your first procedure is take your own pulse.
What's going on here? Who's in charge? Interns everywhere bumping into each other.
Here they come.
Where's Joe? Mom, you take over the
Angels and mercy.
Hey, what's the matter? Boy, babe, I don't feel so hot. I think I caught whatever he's got.
Molly, you take over there.
Man, it's hard to tell. It
Spread
could be
out.
anything.
Somebody please check. Botch.
Bosch.
Where's Joe?
Get those nurses
Take a look at my throat.
off my station. And they'll interrupt the natural flow of fate.
you.
Ooh, Bosch, be careful.
I
All they
should've
want to
known.
do is steal your
If there's
soul.
chaos,
Area
the fat man, the body.
I can't believe her. Angel. Angel of mercy, I'll tell you something. As soon as I get to be a doctor, I'm gonna show her what a red hot really is.
Piper, you are a doctor.
Dr. Putz called me this morning and said that you were interfering with his patient.
Sophie complains about being depressed. He orders a complete gastrointestinal workup. So, wait a minute, an upper GI series, a small bowel follow-through, plus a barium enema, plus a bone scan, brain scan,
Which
liver
you
scan.
canceled.
I was afraid he was going to scan her to death. Besides, I walk in there, all he's doing is holding her hand.
That's 40 Blue Cross buckaroos for the famous Dr. Bob Putzel, healer of the suburbs.
What?
Every time he holds her hands, that's 40 Blue Cross dollars.
You know, I asked him about her condition. All he said was flatulence. Well, I figure she can fart at home.
Actually, there's nothing wrong with her at all. She just got tired of going to Dr. Putzel's office, and he got tired of going to her house, so they got into his 14-foot-long white Continental and came down here. She's fine. Hello, darling.
Sophie's not a Gomer, is she?
No, does she act human?
Well, sure, she's a sweet old lady.
An LOL, an NAD, a little old lady in no apparent distress. Your solution is clear. Turf her home before she becomes a Gomer and Putzelized.
Putzelized?
Putzelized. Standard. Admit an LOL and NAD. Do a test, produce a complication. Do another test, produce another complication, and so on until they're Putzelized and non-turfable. A perfect example of which is standing right here, right, Howie? Now, Howie, why do you think it's so important to turn little old ladies in no apparent distress into Gomers? Why must we hospital gnomes do all the work and Putzel makes the money? I mean, what do you think this new wing of man is for? It's for the Sophies of the world. Vast life support systems, private rooms, wall-to-wall carpets, color TV, and quadraphonic sound. This is going to be the bow run of the rich. There's a lot of money in shit. My personal dream is Hollywood. The bow run of the stars. A veritable Fortuna.
Fats, look, what about Sophie? If there's nothing really wrong with her, what can I do?
Turf her.
There's no procedure indicated.
She has a headache. Her noon temperature is a degree high. Never mind, it's 100 degrees in the ward. She has a stiff neck from getting in and out of Putzel's white Continental. Therefore, temperature, headache, stiff neck, diagnosis.
Meningitis?
Procedure.
Lumbar puncture.
Great idea.
But that's a very painful procedure for somebody who does not have meningitis. I can't do that.
Why not?
But I'm telling you, man, a lumbar puncture ain't no big deal. ASAP, baby.
He doesn't need an LP. I'm not...
You do one in med school?
No, books, man. All I know about medicine's in the books.
Well, it looks like I got the knack because I never did read no books. Except this one about this guy in Africa with the marching red ants coming together. He's hot in the chest, put in a big line, you name it, I done it. Come on, ain't you done that?
No, only in the books.
See, that's your failing, like mine not joining now. I mean, hey, what's happening, doctor?
Hey, what's going on? What do you got here?
Oh, that's those liver functions are getting worse. Ooh, he looks high yellow. I pop in with some roids, man.
Steroids?
Sure. Whose patient is it anyway?
Hospitals? Mine?
Yeah, I pop in with some roids. Never know if he don't have fulminant necrotic hepatitis. Now, if and he does, unless you pop in with them roids, arrivederci your mama time there, baby.
But the tests aren't that high, and steroids have bad side effects. Cataracts, blood pressure problems, GI bleed. It looks like a judgment call to me.
Man, he looks mighty yellow. Now, I hit him with the roids, get myself off the hook.
Now, well, it's
No,
my
what's the
decision.
side
I feel
effect?
it's safer to wait.
Yeah, all right.
Anyway.
Okay, you take it easy. Later.
Bedpan alert.
Where?
Oh, the elevator.
Hello. Excuse me, we gotta get to
What
is it about nursing?
Angels of Mercy.
Must be all that white, huh?
It is. I've seen you guys around, but this is the first really interesting conversation we've had.
Girl, you is very perceptive. Listen here, the name is Chuck.
I'm Roy.
You guys are going to be on night call next week. So am I. We'll be working together. First night call's scary, huh?
I'm thinking about joining the army instead. Look, you mind me asking, how far you going to that bedpan, babe?
As far as I have to.
Uh-huh. All right, Roy, I gotta make a break. I'll catch you later, huh?
Okay.
Yeah, all right.
See ya.
All right.
Not a very romantic way to meet somebody, huh?
The romantic ways got me into all kinds of trouble. This is more realistic. See you later.
Sure is realistic.
Roy, wake up. You have an admission in the emergency room.
He's a doctor, you know.
Yes, I know.
Don't worry. You're gonna be all right. Just forget that I'm a doctor. I put myself completely in your hands. I used to be right where you are. Years ago. Right here in the house. I was the first black house intern. You're good. I can tell you've been practicing on the Gomers.
Gomers doesn't change, huh?
It gets fancier. More machines. More Gomers to practice on. They keep the vegetables alive better.
Should be able to breathe a lot easier now. I'll take these specimens to the lab myself.
You will be sure to tell me what the cytology of that is. No matter what.
Well, we won't know anything for a couple of days.
If it's malignant, I have a lot of plans to make. I got a brother in West Virginia. I promised to go fishing with him, and I've broken that promise many times too often.
Check his vital signs and get a follow-up chest x-ray for me.
I mean that, Doctor.
I've seen it 100 times.
1,000?
What? His face. The face of a dying man.
I don't believe that.
Hard it is to deal honestly with death.
Harder than the elbow of a cobra.
And yet the hardness brings out the softness in us all.
Take a chart for me.
The thing that makes us weep at births and weddings. And those sad moments when that first shovelful of earth hits the cover of the coffin. Sure, isn't that what makes us human?
She was so big, every time she inhaled, she had to go.
Eddie, is he breathing?
Breathing. Mr. Lang, are you breathing? Are you breathing? Are you breathing, Mr. Are you breathing? Thump him. Thump. Isn't that a little melodramatic?
Call code. Stat.
Code stat. Code stat. Code stat. Code stat.
What's it talking about?
Code stat. Code stat. Code stat.
Code 5, 8 north. Code 5, 8 north. Code 5, 8 north.
Get an IV in it. Give me some oxygen.
Quick, get the card.
Get an IV. Get an IV into it.
Get the card.
Get the IV. Hustle. Get some oxygen over here.
What the hell is it? Ray, I've got the EKG.
Great. Watch his head.
Give me a breath.
4. Breathe. Some oxygen here. 1 and 2 and 3. 1.
Get in there. Please.
Set to your room. 5. 4. 5.
Give me some preps. Thank you.
5. Give me some room. 4. 5.
Give me the connection. Where's the other?
There's 3.
Make the tape.
4. 5. 2. 3. 4. 5. Give me some room. 4. 1.
Let's go.
Put it in there. Let's get the machine.
4. 5. 1. 2. 3.
Get that machine in
Give me
there.
the lead. Give me the lead to the IV.
Your lactated ringer.
Dr.
Greenspan is terrible on that line.
This thing working? You got it on? Another piece of tape, a big piece. Is that IV working? Give me a turn. Get you. Give me another piece of tape.
He's breathing on his own.
Try on me.
Right, I got a pulse over here. Okay, let's get him on the monitor as soon as we can. Right, bring the gurney down. What do you got on the EKG?
Come on.
You got ready to get him up? Is that hooked? IV working. You got it? What do you got?
NSR with occasional BPC.
All right, get 100 milligrams of lidocaine ready.
Up. I've got to get it. Not yet. Up.
I need help.
Clear the hall. Watch out. Give me the cord.
Go. Nicely done, Tommy. Almost like a real doc.
I don't know what happened to me, man.
Hold the elevator.
I felt embarrassed for him falling down like that.
Oh, you know what I remember was law number 3. First sign of cardiac arrest, took my own pulse. Yeah.
Let me get it back up here. Bring the elevator back down here. Don't talk to me like that. Just bring it down.
I did. I'm ringing it. What do you think I'm doing?
You mean
What are
the
you
elevators don't work?
I'm ringing it.
Interesting.
Okay, ex-best medical students, you just survived your first 60-hour mind and body destroying marathon shift. You are now doctors. Let's hear from your very own lips just how easy it was.
Oh, man, it was wonderful.
Really awesome.
Piece of cake. Chuck actually got one back to the mother of all a nursing home before the bed was sold. And Nurse Worthington,
I hope you're sorry you said
who had her first autopsy last night. Did you see anything?
Really?
In the,
She liked it.
Did you see the heart or the liver?
I thought it was very interesting.
It was disgusting.
At least I didn't throw up.
Hell, the guy should have died. He was so unhealthy. He should have gotten himself some sun.
Needleman?
Elliot Needleman, 32-year-old white male, been playing baseball with his son, and he had just hit a line drive and was running to first when he dropped in the base path unconscious.
What do you think it is?
Intracranial bleed.
He's gonna die. Turf to neurosurgery. Laszlo?
Laszlo, the yellow man, age 21. About 10 o'clock, he went into convulsions, and no matter what I did, he wouldn't stop. He's got fulminant necrotic hepatitis.
Did you give him steroids?
He's a diabetic with high blood pressure.
could ask me.
I thought I should have been able to handle it myself. I should have given him steroids.
Roids wouldn't have helped him none. It's too far gone.
You're thinking that as a doctor that you could have done something more to help, right? Remember rule number 4. The patient is the one with the treatable disease. The doctor's disease, untreatable, is thinking you're God. I hadn't wanted to resort to this, but as this is a particularly dense group, I am forced to reveal the secret weapon in the good fight to turf Gomers. This is the electric Gomer bed. Now, first examine the foot pedal. Now, may we have the patient's blood pressure, Nurse Langton?
90/50.
Good. Now, you can't turf a Gomer back to a nursing home without a blood pressure, but Gomers don't have blood pressure. From this position, called the Hindenburg, we can get any blood pressure we want, nurse.
190/100.
Pretty good.
Wonderful.
But why?
Off his charts, he'll the turf won't bounce back on you. Going up, appliances, video games, ladies' lingerie, and on this floor, the famous Gomer Sundowner Review. When the sun goes down, the moon comes out, all the Gomers start to shout. And on this floor, the penultimate turf to orthopedics. From this height, if a Gomer goes to ground, it's an automatic fracture of the hip. And now, the ultimate. This is called the neurosurgical. A Gomer rarely returns from neurosurgery. A turf to neurosurgery is practically bounce-free.
Stop it, Fats. Let him down.
Kind of scary to think that someone as brilliant as that can end up a vegetable, and there's nothing anybody can do about it, not even a brilliant red hot such as yourself. Couldn't be that you're worried about the same thing happening to you. Now, don't tell me I'm of the class of interns that went to med school for the immortality. Here I thought it was the golf.
Pretty good.
Did you know that Mr. Rokitansky was a college professor?
I guess it really doesn't matter what he was.
You were crying.
Well, it's not fair. Maybe if he still didn't look like a person. That's what's hard. Maybe someday I'll get over it.
I don't want to get over it. I didn't become a doctor not to be able to do anything.
Sometimes there isn't anything to do.
That's what scares me. What if the fat man is right? What if I'm doing it for myself and not Mr. Rokitansky?
You're going to be a good doc. I can tell.
If I act more depressed, will that help me get you into bed?
Yes, but I won't respect you afterwards.
Doctors are very respectable people.
Roy. It's not gonna happen, so we might as well just not get ourselves all hot and bothered.
Right, let's not get hot and bothered.
I mean, I understand. It's like being in a foxhole together.
Oh?
We see life and death, and everybody knows that there's a lot of sexual stimulation around death. Well, that's why you want to go to bed with me?
Oh, it is.
Yes, because you're lonely and afraid, and I'm a nurse, and I represent comfort and safety, and so naturally...
You're sexy.
Oh, yeah. That, too. But the point is that if I gave in to every opportunity to make somebody feel good, what would that make me?
A wonderful person.
Yes, but the nuns had another word for it.
The nuns?
The nuns. In high school, they used to beat us if we had dirty thoughts.
you having dirty thoughts right now?
Yes. I'm gonna have to get me a nun to save me from myself.
Get these bonus cans.
One, and two, and three, and...
Hey, how much time we got?
And the money.
Well, gentlemen and lady, as I am about to be turfed to Mount St. Elsewhere... What
are you talking about?
These are my parting words. Beware the slurpers.
Hey, fat man, call.
What are slurpers?
Yeah, how the rich...
Yeah? Oh, that's great. Hang on just a second. Hey, you guys, what's a catchy doctor's name?
Quack.
No, this is serious.
Freud.
No, too European.
Young.
Young, right. Gentlemen, to the inventor of the great American medical invention, Dr. Young's anal mirror. Do you remember in medical school in gastroenterology class when they asked you to examine your own anus with the aid of a small mirror?
Yeah.
You couldn't do it, right?
Right.
No one can do it. It's impossible. But now, with the aid of Dr. Young's, anyone can examine his or her very own anus in the comfort and privacy of his or her very own home. That call was from Murray, my partner, and the first uninterrupted history-making test. I tell you, it brings tears to my eyes. Fat man, he said. Fat man, I can see it. I can see my own asshole. It's a great moment for Americans.
Why just Americans? Why not the world?
That's right. If it's millions in America, it's billions in the world. Everybody wants to see it. It's like darkest Africa before the missionaries. It's the Congo of the body.
Textbook in himself. A legend in his own time.
This notebook contains my own transcription of the 3,000-page work, Principles of Internal Medicine. If it isn't in my head, it's on my hip.
We heard about your father. Sorry.
Water under the bridge. So, welcome aboard. Let's get the trot rack and make rounds.
With the Fat Man, we went to the BMW, or we did the rounds here.
Sloppy. I see every patient every day. The more you see patients, the more you learn. The more you learn, the more medicine you can practice. We deliver medical care here, and I see patients. I treat patients. I touch patients.
Fat man never used to like to touch none of the patients too much, you know.
By the way, we'll start rounds an hour earlier. 6 sharp. Double time, gentlemen. This is a big hospital. Whose patient is this?
Mine. She doesn't have a heartbeat.
What do you mean she doesn't have a heartbeat?
Just doesn't have one.
Is she alive?
Oh, yes.
Then she has a heartbeat.
Gomers. Good morning, Anna. This is Dr. Bosch. Come in.
What is the most important part of this patient's care?
Placement. Law number 5, placement comes first.
Who told you that?
The Fat Man.
Baloney. This woman is suffering from severe senile dementia. She's oriented neither to time, place, nor person. She's incontinent and confused, and all she says is Rudel. Start ordering tests. We're really going to work this up.
With dementia in a 95-year-old woman is normal.
Dementia is never normal. It is by definition abnormal.
The fat man said that if you try and treat her, she'll just get worse. The best thing to do is nothing. And try like hell to find her a new bed in a nursing home.
Listen to me, smartass. 1, the fat man's nuts. 2, if you don't believe that, ask anyone. 3, that's why they didn't want him to start with the new turns. And 4, I'm the captain of the ship here. And I deliver medical care, which, for your information, means not doing nothing, but doing something. In fact, doing everything, which is a far cry from nothing. See? Anna O., we're going to make you well. E. Laszlo, the yellow man. I've heard about this case. Liver disease is interesting. Not my special area, but interesting. Dr. Potts, have you reviewed the literature on fulminant necrotic hepatitis? That's what we have here. Steroids given early prevent it. Should have given him steroids. Waited too long. Why?
I don't know.
I'm glad to hear an intern say, I don't know. It's very easy to give a safe, simple answer, but very hard under the pressure of rounds to say, I don't know. Dr. Greenspoon, what is now the indicated treatment?
I don't know.
Dr. Johnson.
Don't know.
I don't know.
Well, I've ordered an exchange transfusion. That's where you take out old low blood and replace it with new. Dr. Worthington, you'll do the transfer. Me. Great opportunity.
Who's doing it?
Let's get the show on the road. Lots of
Exchange
patients,
transfusions
lots
never work. The blood still got to go through the liver, and there is no liver. He's gonna die.
Let's get going. Normally you wouldn't catch me dead doing it, but nobody else would.
What?
Everybody's afraid of getting stuck with a needle and catching this guy's fatal disease.
Susan, I'd give you a hand, but I don't want to catch this
guy's fatal disease.
Right.
I don't blame you.
Who the hell's eat my dust, Eddie? This patient is dead.
Yeah, well, I was kind of wondering about that.
Wayne? What are you doing up here? $130 million. The most modern medical facility in the world. And I wanted to be a country doctor. You all right? And there was this old guy, country doc back in Pawleys Island. We had a summer place there. One day when I was about 11, I spilled some hot oil on my hands, so my mother rushed me to see him. He had his offices in his house. A couple of big mahogany paneled rooms, brass fixtures, and apothecary drawers. He dressed my burn and he asked me what kind of fish I liked to catch. I told him bluefish and sea bass. Yeah. He asked me if they were running yet. I told him no. He said he'd have me fishing by the time they started running. I drifted into hanging around with him, going on calls and things. Wherever he went, people opened their doors to him. He'd be up all night in a Negro shack delivering a baby. His next call, to the grandest house on the East Battery, sipping chicory coffee Served by the butler on the Bahamas porch.
What was she like as an intern?
Who?
You know who? Joe, come on.
I don't care. Let's get something to eat.
Not there. No, we had 3 cases of ptomaine from there last week. You know, she's, in some ways, she's more what I expected than the fat man. A medical red hot.
Joe.
Does she ever go home?
Work. What's going to happen is you'll turn out just like her.
Now, that's rotten. I won't. I promise.
Promise?
I promise.
Dr. Bash, report to your intern supervisor.
I gotta go
Report
back.
to Dr. Miller, Dr. Joe Miller. Dr. Bash. Dr. Bash.
Healing the sick, Dr. Bash?
Bats. I thought you were turned.
Oh, look at this. Poor old Anna. Oh, on her way back to the rest home, and now not a roodle in her. You're treating her to death, right?
What the hell am I supposed to do with Joe always right there?
Do workups in imaginary terms, buff her charts, do no medicine on her at all, and this woman will live to roodle another day.
That's not ethical.
Ethical? I'll tell you what ethical is. Ethical is what you do when you run out of ideas, which makes you the most ethical group of interns to come into the house of God yet.
We're that shitty a group, huh?
Actually, you're in the 99th percentile, which makes you eligible to practice in this world-famous teaching hospital. Remember, 5 out of every 10 interns in America cannot speak English.
Fats, you gotta give us a hand.
You're a red hot, Roy. And every red hot has a chance to become another Joe. With a little superhuman effort, money, advanced technology, there's nothing that cannot be licked, right? It's pathetic. Joe and those other slurpers need these patients more than they need her. And if you're like that, you ought to be in research, because you need so much for yourself you don't have the slightest idea how to give. Grow up, Bash. You're a Rhodes Scholar. Hell, you play golf.
Mr. Luis Salazar, come on over.
Good morning, Sophie.
Morning, Mrs.
No
Arnold.
way, I can't see the television.
Oh, we're just lowering your bed for a few minutes.
Betadine, please. That gonna be enough? So, Sophie, I have some bad news for you.
Bad news?
Appears from your symptoms that you have meningitis.
Meningitis? I've never had a sick day in my life.
Why else would you be in the hospital?
I don't know.
Is it the first or second intervertebral space?
The 4th or 5th.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
I've never done this before, but don't you worry about a thing.
What?
To be absolutely sure about your diagnosis, we're going to have to give you a lumbar puncture.
What kind of puncture?
Lumbar. Is this how this goes together?
Yes.
Means into your spine, Sophie.
My spine?
Yes, now, if I get a little lucky, I'm gonna hit this on the first try.
A little lucky?
Right. Now, if I miss, you're gonna have to hold perfectly still, because that way the pain will be much less excruciating.
Excruciating? Help! Get me Dr. Putzel. I want to get out of here. I'm going home. Get out of my way. Stay away from me. Dr. Putzel, help! Help!
Score 1 for the fat man.
What happened here? Now, I was called down by Hyper here to see this whale. And she laying there, man, not breathing worth a shit, and nobody can figure out why. So I said, big bitch eat all day, better have a look in her mouth. Which I did, you know. I opened that bad boy and looked in. And man, there was a big, nasty green thing down there. So I put on about 3, 4, 5 pair of gloves now, because you never know when one of these patients got some disease, you know. Well.
Oh, my God. Broccoli.
What's this?
The broccoli lady, a save.
Doing great, ain't she?
What are you doing for?
Well, I got her on a low broccoli diet, girl. What else?
Yeah, well, you know, she was
I don't know about that.
acting real weird, you know, so I hypnotized her. Hypnotizer. Thank you. Hypnotized. Hypnotized. Yeah, it worked great. You know, she stopped me right to sleep.
Hyper, does that really help? All that Valium?
Makes me feel a little sleepy. I'm feeling pretty inflammable lately. I'm writing orders for all my patients around the clock.
You're putting all your patients on Valium?
Why not? They find out I'm their doc, they all get pretty nervous. Things are really looking up, though. I did another autopsy, and the patient responded perfectly. Fail-safe. A guy came in here this morning around 4 o'clock. I told him I'd give him $5 if he'd go away. And, he did. I'm really starting to get the hang of this.
This is fantastic. The footnotes, the cures. Now, this is it. This is the delivery of medical care. Are the patients really better?
I told them the fat man's ideas about patient care were nuts, and they've proven it.
I thought Chuck was here on quota.
It's the house. The house of God brings out the best in a man.
They're giving you, us, the toughies, leukemia, melanoma, hepatoma, lymphoma, carcinoma, also the disasters, the incurables. It's a fantastic opportunity. Great chance to deliver medical care. And you guys have done it. Legos, boys, and my team.
Thanks a lot.
Dr. Potts!
Catch you later.
Mr. Hotchkiss, I'm Dr. Strauss. I understand that you're in pain. You're gonna like this. You're gonna think you just snorted half of South Dakota. Aha, yeah. Mr. Hotchkiss? Mr. Hotchkiss? Sissy, what are you doing in Mr. Hotchkiss's bed?
I have the same symptoms, Eddie. Acute depression. Eddie, Joe is driving me crazy. I was just beginning to think I was a good doctor. Now I don't even think I know what I'm doing anymore.
Yeah, we never did.
But what if we hurt someone?
What if someone hurts us? Sissy, where's Mr. Hotchkiss?
Oh, Eddie, what are we gonna do?
Dr. Strauss, Dr. Strauss.
I don't know.
Report to your intern supervisor immediately.
Move over.
Strauss.
Now, as much as we applaud your efforts thus far, I'm afraid we also feel there's quite a bit still lacking. Bernard, where's your stethoscope? Well, frankly, this intern class has the lowest autopsy rate in the history of the House of God. So, to encourage you, I am forced to announce the first annual Virchow pathology competition. The autopsy is the heart, no. The flower, no. The red rose of medicine. The great Virchow performed 25,000 autopsies with his own 2 hands. And so, an all-expense-paid trip to the AMA convention in Atlantic City next June goes to the intern securing the most post-mortem permissions.
That's a damn good idea, Chief. But shouldn't it really be a trip to the American Pathological Convention in Roanoke? You think Joe's ever been to Atlantic City? Perfect.
I was thinking more along the lines of marriage and family counseling. Oh, Jesus Christ, there's a body in there.
Of course there is, silly. There's a whole wall. Come on, give me a hand.
Journey?
Yep.
Okay. On 3?
Yeah.
1, 2, hup!
1, 2,
hup! Hup!
Hup.
Yeah, yeah. Up. Okay. All right.
Okay, ready? One.
1, 2. Up. Up. Ah.
Okay, this way, this way, this way, this way.
All right. Here we go.
A little further, a little further.
Jane Doe. I didn't know she died.
Different one. Get the scales, okay?
Oh, Jane Doe died. Sis, I don't feel well.
Don't think of it as a person, Eddie. It's better this way, believe me. You can operate without worrying about losing the patient. It's great.
Pancreas.
Oh, yeah, do you remember Jane Ackerman?
Sis, you know, maybe if I could see a real live body for a minute, maybe I could get used to the idea.
How?
I don't know. It just seems like a good idea. Sissy, I want you to know that I feel better already. And I want you to know that I appreciate what you're doing for me.
Well, I appreciate what you're doing for me, too, Eddie.
Where do we start?
Okay, well, I'd like to start at the top and then kind of work my way down.
Interesting. You know, there's a strange closeness that develops at a time like this.
It's like being in a foxhole together. Eddie, together. We couldn't be beaten for that Virchow competition. Not by Hyper, not by anybody.
Call me Eat My Dust.
Eat my dust.
A moment you'll never forget.
You're my first cure.
I know what you mean. It's I who should be thanking you. But you're grateful that somebody made it all worthwhile.
What kind of fishing do you have down there?
Well, we have perch, brim, sunfish, anything we can catch.
You gonna bring me some?
I'm looking forward to that, all right. Thank you, Doctor.
Elliot Reginald Needleman, by the power vested in me by this great state and nation, I hereby pronounce you dead.
Is that really necessary?
No, actually, the only federal regulation is just you take the 2 pennies out of your loafers and place them over the dead
Maybe I
man's
should have
eyes.
shipped him to surgery sooner.
Wayne, you did all you could. You popped an aneurysm.
Gentlemen, I understand Mr. Needleman died. Well, that certainly is too bad. Young man playing ball with his son, trying to beat out a hit to first base. You knew he was a house patient, didn't you? These things can't be helped, but we all are responsible for house patients. Lego as chief of medicine, myself as chief resident, Joe as your supervising resident, and of course the intern whose patient he was. We all feel a special concern.
Yes, sir, I know.
I understand you have a patient named Laszlo, the yellow man. Possibly Joe told you liver disease is a special interest of mine. I've recently had the opportunity to review the world literature on fulminant necrotic hepatitis. This case would make a fascinating research project. Perhaps one of the staff might care to undertake such a project, by the way, both Dr. Lego and I feel, Dr. Potts, that you waited too long before giving him steroids. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
Good. By the way, Chuck, the way you dress, just not professional. Whites, hardly white, without shirt, properly buttoned, and a tie. It's just not good enough for the house. Clean whites here and a tie.
Yeah, right.
Keep up the good work. Good.
What's going on?
The yellow man is dying. I just injected him with morphine.
Well, what are you doing?
Waiting. Joe, I've transfused him. I've controlled his seizures, but his blood sugars are off the wall, and his EEG shows...
His total blood supply is being recirculated every 3 days. He shouldn't be dying.
He's circling the drain, Joe. He's already downstairs.
This man is in need of medical care, and we're going to give it to him. Dr. Potts, I want to go all out.
All out.
All out.
Jesus Christ.
You turns fouled up this case, especially you, Potts. Now, he's a house patient, and we're not just going to sit around. Blood gases. I want to repeat the EEG, portable X-ray. And, I won't have this. This ward handles the toughies. My ward. It's a legend in its own time.
Great case, Joe. Great case.
Come back here. Come back. You damn pansies. I'm reporting this to Dr. Lego. You're afraid of the dirty side of medicine.
Flatline.
He's dead, Joe.
You're not afraid of the dirty side of medicine?
Not to my knowledge, sir.
I've always felt you were splendid material, Roy. A leader of interns. Someday, maybe even chief resident.
Thank you, sir.
But you have to understand the system, what it takes to make it work. There are a lot of things about my job that nobody appreciates. Something's wrong with this intern class.
Sir, maybe it's the difference between what seems necessary and what the doctors in this hospital like to do.
And what do the doctors like to do?
Fat Man says to produce complications.
The fat man. Now, why would we want to do that?
To make money.
We deliver a much-needed, life-giving, God-fearing service, and we hold that sacred trust inviolate. Oh, Roy. The fat man could never be chief resident here. You know that, don't you? And Roy, close the door. Think about urology.
this is the best thing you could ever do for yourself, Roy. Oh, your heart will thank you. You know, this very path is named after a heart man. Lived to be 95. Of course, you know, running doesn't do it all. Roy, Roy, running is primarily good for fitness, but you need more. Do you fish, Roy? Oh, I fish for calm. I may have mentioned it. It's excellent. Good source of protein, too. Oh, yeah.
What's important to learn is that you can pit the resources of the machine against
Roy,
the patient. It's measurable,
don't do
precise,
this. You
perfect.
can't ignore Wayne's death. What he meant to you. All of
Can't
us.
afford to get emotional. You know, I've been getting much too involved. Distance and applied science. That's the
Talk
answer.
about it.
This computer
Roy.
is programmed to treat every patient automatically.
Damn it, Roy. You're cutting yourself off. You never see the fat
Lower
man. You
your
won't talk to
voice.
Gilhaney and Quick, even Chuck.
I'm leaving them behind. I am running plunka, 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 my way to mental
Will you
and
stop
physical health. Pincus has the answer. By running and fishing, Pincus has gotten his pulse rate down to 35 beats per minute during cardiac arrest.
You know, I don't want to hear about Pincus's pulse rate. His fishing for calm or yours either for that.
Dr. Sanders.
Hi, Dr. Sanders.
Well, are you two going fishing, or are you still my doctor?
I'm your doctor.
Good. As you can see, I didn't get any better. One thing, Doctor. I don't want a farce.
We've got the best equipment in the world. Instantaneous rebalancing of every bodily function by computer. I want to do a complete white cell transfer.
Sounds like you've changed.
Well, for the better, I hope. I believe more in the tools now. We're very advanced technologically.
I don't want a farce. All right?
Are you sure you want to go through with this? Did you ever see what an emergency clinic is like on Christmas? No. I've seen people suffering for hours.
What's this?
If you're sure, I'll get you in here.
What's
But I'll
this?
tell you something.
Hold it.
What sorry, young man. What is wrong with you? I've
Let me
tried
examine
every
this man.
hospital. The man is a human being, and you won't let him into this hospital.
This is a classic case of insomnia. I'm gonna work this up. Set.
He's got all his papers in order. He's entitled to
I'm the doctor.
service. This man is a human
The patient was admitted in good health except for a urinary tract infection. Now, when the temperature rose to 107 degrees from an infection, which subsequently grew from a spinal fluid culture, the intern was called to see the patient. Found the patient unresponsive to treatment. The patient expired 3 hours later. This is H. Hooper, M.D.
What happened?
Usual, Death City, and I got the post. Atlantic City, here I come.
For that woman came in here healthy.
Yeah, I know, but then she boxed, and I got the post. You and Eddie don't let no grass grow if you get my meaning.
Piper, that is not fair.
Who's scared to make another bet on Fast Eddie? 2-1. He makes it this time. You're on, McGee.
Eddie! What are you doing? Eddie, what are you doing?
Did you lose something, Eddie? Kath, I heard her scream. Did she drop? No.
Damn it, Gath. You were interrupting the flow of fate.
Physician. Pathology competition. Wheel thyself.
You are witnessing a masterpiece of modern medical treatment. 5 years ago, this young mother of two would have been dead for over a year. But today, through this terminal direct to our controlled diagnostic centers in Paris and Oklahoma
Miss Golly,
City,
what happens if we transfuse her now?
Dr. Bosch, one of our fine young interns, is able to call upon all the data in existence at this time relative to this patient's disease.
110/9.
Modern medical care is calm, efficient, in tune with the needs of the equipment,
Then let's try
as those
some
needs
isopropyl.
relate to the needs of
Ask
the
Ollie to
patient.
titrate it in college.
Let her die. Why don't you just
We're
cut it
doing
off?
our best. We're giving her all that is scientifically possible. Yes, for her. I think we should discuss this outside. Ladies and gentlemen, right this way. Our next stop will be
We
the...
have some PVCs over here.
100 milligrams of lidocaine.
Still PVCs.
Sodium bicarb.
VTAC.
Increase the lidocaine, more bicarb.
Still VTAC. V-fib.
Clear the bed. Defibrillate.
Nothing.
Defibrillate.
Still nothing.
Defibrillate.
Asystole.
She's dead, man. She's dead. Would you disconnect the systems, baby?
I don't disconnect systems.
I can shut it off here. Let's go get a drink, man.
Why? I'm fine. Hi, Molly. You guys hung around. That's great. Clear bed number 5. Give me a visual review on the
Yes,
other
doctor.
beds.
You gotta get out of intensive care, Roy.
I was doing a job here.
You didn't have to. You wanted to. You're just like Joe. You're just like her.
It's too bad. Just can't take it. Medicine's a hard master.
Spoken like a true slurper, Roy. Mm-hmm. Like a true slurper, man.
I'm leaving him behind. I'm leaving them all behind.
What the hell is going on here?
Sit down.
Damn it, save for
There comes a time in every term's life when he must be turfed.
I don't have time for this.
Aha, Dr. Fat Schweitzer, I presume.
Hey,
Dr. Fat!
Ho, ho, ho! This is just a sideline, you understand? My more commercial projects take up most of my time.
Thank you.
Merry Christmas,
That
Merry
was the COD
Christmas,
that
Molly.
night.
Roy, you look comatose. Wake up, man. I've heard the worst. You and Joe are about to be joined at the stethoscope and spend the rest of your lives in intensive care.
So what the hell is this? You have me kidnapped so I can see you playing Santa Claus.
Look around you. What do you see?
Everything's a joke for you, isn't it?
You see patients, medical care, cures. Hell, last week I even solved a kid's sniffle problem.
Everybody loves a fat man.
I give what I can and no bullshitology. Remember, intensive care is 90% bullshitology, and I am 90% real. Your girlfriend is 90% real, and your friends are 90% real, allowing some margin of error when it comes to cops. Okay, you guys, let's get to work. I got presents to open.
Harder than the elbow of a Gomer. As the man who turns away from his fellow man at a Christmas party.
You know something, Fats? You don't know any more than the rest of us. Only with you, it's worse. Because you set us up. You made us believe you could handle everything. Well, let me tell you something, man. You sure handled the hell out of Potts.
Just happens every time. Just when you're about to break through, you break down.
Did you get this Robert Jones?
Yeah, I got it this morning.
What the hell's going on here? It's an epidemic. Everyone is dying.
Yeah, well, that's a streak of bad luck, Joe. Hey, listen, we are doing great on posts.
Yeah. Who did the invasive procedure on Rose Butts?
Not me.
Not me?
I did.
I don't believe it.
Yeah, it's a record for the most organs hit with a single needle shot.
They don't line up that way. How could you hit everything?
Just follow the instructions in Roy's manual. Unless maybe I had it upside down.
Don't be so hard on yourself. And don't be so hard on old Lego either. You know, he was the most piss-poor intern I have ever known. Too frightened, too cautious. Lego's in the right place.
Well, he sure beat me.
Cynicism, huh? Yeah. I went through that. All the training, and then the helplessness.
How good is it anyway?
My life has been valuable. For some of us, there can be a way. When the time comes, don't let them make a fox. Please. It's just no point, huh? It's so simple. I want to die.
Tina, the taxi lady bought it.
My God, that's Lego's patient. How could you?
We didn't.
But that shouldn't happen.
Lego's crack dialysis team did it. Nurses reading Cosmopolitan, attached the wrong bottle. We got the post.
No.
The post is the heart.
It's the flower.
It's the red rose.
Not when it proves malpractice.
Well, you can't learn medicine without killing a few patients.
All them deaths, Joe gonna take it personal. We better watch out. She gonna wanna go all out.
All out?
All out.
I want to go all out. 4+. Dr. Sanders is one of our own. An early associate of the Lego. I must say.
Dr. Sanders? Dr. Sanders?
He's arrested. Molly, call a code. Get the crash cart.
Call a code 5. Stat.
Somebody get this bed down.
Gotta get a big line into this guy. Stat!
Give me some room. Clear the handle.
1, 2.
Where's that
3,
damn monitor?
4.
Get that EKG
5.
monitor
We
over
should have
here.
taken him to the unit. Like gases and electrolytes. Get that heart monitor set up for Dr. Pincus. 1, 2.
Let Dr. Pincus get to the monitor.
2 saline pads and tires of travel. Okay. Why isn't that monitor working?
Get
Why isn't
that
he hooked
monitor
up?
plugged in. Unplug
Get the
TV.
anesthesiologist.
Oh, shit.
1, 2, 3, 4.
You asshole!
Somebody get the anesthesiologist.
$8,000
Call the
that you just
surgeon.
ruined.
Somebody call the
$8,000 and you
We need all the help we can get. 1.
bozo! Every 3 days this man has new perfect blood.
1.
Every 3 days, and it goes through the goddamn shunt.
That was a
Back from the bed.
Shunt costs more than your old
From the
goddamn
bed.
intern salary for a goddamn year.
Still to be fair.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2.
Am I liable?
Hold the respirator close.
Probably for the best.
Even my specialty.
help. All make mistakes.
2, 3.
Molly, got my life.
1, 2.
Stop it. Don't resuscitate him.
Nonsense. Everybody back from the bed. Do it again.
Oh, all right.
Doesn't want this. He doesn't want to die like
How do
this.
you know? Cut him.
Nobody asked
2,
for no open heart.
3, 4,
Touch him.
5.
You get out of here.
No, you get out of here, Bosh. I'll call security. You got nuts? 4.
He's breathing.
5. Got a pulse. He's coming. See? See that? He's coming back.
Pressure's 90/60.
Come on, all of you, get out! Molly. My patient, and I'll take care of him.
We brought him back. Now you're not gonna...
Pathology prize is your award, Joe.
Doc, you hear me? It's me, Bosh.
I can't do what you want me to.
Oh.
I'm here. I'm here.
Well, we did all we could. No hard feelings, Roy. I understand how an intern can panic in a situation like that. You won't do it again. Did you get the post?
What?
Dr. Sanders would make a good one. Learn a lot.
No, Joe, I didn't get the post.
Why not?
Because I wanted to leave him with some dignity.
That's indulgent, Roy. The autopsy is the flower. No, the red rose of medicine.
Joe. I'm gonna do you in.
What?
I said, I'm gonna do you in. I don't know exactly when. But maybe some night, when you fall asleep, from having exhausted yourself, saving people who don't want to be saved. I'm gonna do it. Injection, gas. And nobody will know.
You're crazy.
No, Joe, you're crazy. And because you're crazy, I'm gonna turn your body over to Eddie and Sissy and Hyper. And they're gonna discover what's inside your head that makes you want to keep alive those that want to die and kill those who want to live. Like Potts.
Keep him away from me.
What in the hell is going on here?
Well, there seems to have been this rumor that something was said.
It's no rumor. He said that he was going to do me in.
Yes, well, in brief, that is the rumor.
What?
That you intend to do Joe in.
To do Joe in?
Yes, because I killed Potts and wouldn't kill Dr. Sanders.
Joe, have you gone mad? Potts committed suicide.
That's true. Unfortunate, but the fact is he was not murdered.
He said it. He said it. He did.
Joe, do you really think that an intern in the house of God would threaten to kill a resident in the house of God?
Don't let him go.
Joe, there's no need to be physical.
What do you want us to do?
Dr. Fishberg,
I don't know. I mean, I don't know.
Excuse me, sir. Jo has been acting very strange recently. I think that she's been stressed by the number of deaths on her service.
Yes, she has been acting strange, seemingly affected by the number of deaths on her service. In fact, I was reviewing the literature on excessive deaths in hospitals, and I had wondered.
I don't know. She's a pretty strange girl. Don't never go on no dates, no parties. Don't never have no kind of fun. Always hanging around the hospital.
Well, is that strange?
Mm-hmm.
By the way, Dr. Sanders and I were interns together.
Oh, yeah?
Sir, may I speak frankly and in confidence?
Of course. We're all professionals here.
Exactly, sir. And some of us are tired and even ill professionals, sir.
A house resident, ill.
Overworked, in need of a rest. And who doesn't, sir? Who doesn't need a rest?
No one doesn't need a rest. No one at all doesn't need a rest.
This can't be happening.
Jo, you have a nice rest. Remember, no one doesn't need a rest. Well, now comes that time of year I always look forward to. The verification of your contracts to return to the house next year as residents. Now I know that all of you are looking forward to it too, because now is when you become more a part of the house and our way of doing things. Some of you as residents supervising interns. Some of you, perhaps...
You mean, sir, we could step into Joe's shoes, as it were?
Yes, exactly.
Not, I would guess, into the fat man's shoes.
Well, Fat Man is all right, but he's not really one of us. Now is he, Roy? Howie, about your plans?
Well, sir, I was hoping to stay on and perhaps one day aim possibly for Dr. Fishberg's job. Chief of residence. The house offers a wonderful career opportunity in medicine.
Roy?
I'm quitting medicine.
Excellent. Eddie? What?
I said I was quitting medicine.
You can't quit medicine. When I was an intern, we loved medicine. We loved showing our chief what we could do. To become part of the greatest system of medical care in the history of the universe.
Your system produces people like Joe.
Yes, well...
She's just the other side of the same coin as Potts.
Well, before we bring this meeting to a close, I just want to say, it's been a wonderful year. Now, I know the internship year is hard. We've all been through it. And I'd like to call your attention to one of us who isn't here today. Dr. Wayne Potts. Yes, I'm proud of Potts. Aside from some defect which caused his accident, he was a fine young physician. And maybe this year has been a little difficult, losing one along the way. But all in all, I'd say it was just about typical. I'd like a moment of silence for Dr. Wayne Potts.
You killed him.
What?
He was too gentle to tough it out. He would have made a good dog. Not in your goddamn system.
You know, you spent 8 years in medical school, and after 8 months, you're ready to give up.
This has got nothing to do with us.
How can you say that?
Our relationship is going to work whether we're both in medicine or not.
It's not about us. It's about you.
What happens if you give up? If you say you can't make it, what happens to you?
I'm not saying that I can't make it. I've beaten them.
Oh, have you?
We're trapped. Ophthalmology, man, that's good. 100 grand a year, and when your patients fought, they say
Yeah, but what about all the donors from Miami with sunglasses?
Hey, man, come on in. Have yourself one.
As the winner of the Virchow pathology competition, I think it's only fair that we discuss the career of pathology.
She didn't. Rose Butts was dead on arrival.
A technicality, pathology offers an incredible career of challenge and opportunity.
Hey, man, you can't do nothing for nobody else. At least you can do it for yourself.
Bullshit, how can you make a half-ass choice like
Have another drink. It makes it easier to make a half-ass
Well, maybe
choice.
for you it ain't. I mean, you figure you can do anything you want, you gonna come out okay. Well, I gotta tell you, man, there's about 99% of the rest of the population who weren't best medical students, didn't go to the best medical schools, didn't come from the best white families with bread.
You know, you're right. I mean, it's not everybody who has the opportunity to be in the right place at the right time, to take a stand, and then walk.
You take a goddamn stand. You got the background for it.
What are you gonna do, Chuck? You just gonna wait for the next postcard to come in the mail?
Hey, man, ain't nobody had to tell me shit about fighting the system. It ain't just this hospital. It ain't just a Lego.
Well, at least I'm not kidding myself into
And
believing
I'm
that.
not kidding myself either. I'm a good doctor. It feels good. And I know it's right. I may never get a chance to do shit in terms of the kind of medicine I want to do. But I ain't gonna drive myself into thinking I don't really want to be a doctor.
First shot is over the bow. A warning shot. The second shot is live. You guys are so full of shit. All right, where have I failed you?
You don't want to know.
It's enough to bring tears to your eyes. The most hardened Gomer.
You taught us everything we know.
I taught you nothing.
And you? Come on, give me a hand. Quick.
We're OTC. We're off the case.
Come on, assholes. Half the South Side's been shot up along with Gilheeney.
Master plan phase 1. What happened? All right, lose that film. You have any allergies, any medical problems, any medications? Quick, any medication?
He had a heart attack about 2 years ago. I take these little white pills.
Bring that tray over here.
He takes these little white pills. How's he doing, Doc? Mary, Mother of God.
Turn that light on.
Pretty sick. Stabilize. Stabilize.
Somebody give me a hand here.
Anybody's busy. Help's coming down from the wards.
Let's get here. Kids. 12. Let's set a couple of specials. He thought he could talk him out of robbing an ice cream shop.
Veins, God damn it. Told him to lose some weight.
He was always doing. He ate too much in the car. But you know how it is. He get in the car. There's nothing to
Big
do.
major trauma.
Nurse, get ready to get in there. Heart, lungs, gut.
Yes, doctor.
This is real bad. We gotta move it.
That little bugger over there had a shotgun. Gillini.
I've been crossing for 6 units whole blood. The routine
Thinks he
lab.
can talk anybody out of anything.
Check his leg wounds.
I didn't know what to do. He was just lying there
Let
so
me have a
still.
chest tray.
I thought they killed him. I shot 2 of the kids. I knew it would happen sooner or later, but I never thought it would be with the children.
Quick. Would you please leave? We got a lot of work to do. Out. You need surgery.
He got a left hemothorax and no bowel sounds. I want to put an NG tube into him and cath him.
Keep him alive enough, we'll see.
Never know. A chance to cut's a chance to cure.
You bet.
He's arrested.
Don't touch him, Bertie. Clear the bed.
Don't you dare. Don't you die on me.
He's going. Has a pulse.
Gilheeney, you got the heart of an ox.
Steady.
I'll do anything to make a point with me. Yeah? I want to take a look at him now. He's stable.
Hi, fellas.
Stable?
Yes.
Nice work, Howie.
Nice work.
Commissioner Fishburne, you're in charge, but...
I'm Dr. Howard. I'm Dr. Howard. Please, stable. Right here.
Let's say about
Well, sir, quick. And the rest of the day to yourself. That's our brave lad.
You're looking at him, sir.
Top of the morning, brave Sergeant Finton Gilhaney. It's the commissioner, man. I have good news. With the aid of a scalpel being demonstrated, you will survive. You are to worry about nothing. I myself am anxious to protect your fading kind. And for the young scholar who saved your fine red life, the love and appreciation of us all. And for the rest of you, this night saved both villain and hero. My thanks to you for trying to keep us safe in this house, even as we tried to keep you safe in the streets, which, as you know, is a mixed review.
My boys.
Well, what the hell? Isn't anybody gonna help me wheel our fine lad upstairs where I can do me some good?
Some shit, huh, man?
Some shit.
You know, in California, that cop would be driving a cable car.